Welcome back, everyone. My name is Holden, and I am your host for the Youth Unmuted podcast. This is a team-led podcast with the Boys and Girls Club of Benton County, where we share unique stories that relate to today's youth. Let's get started. Today, we're joined by an extraordinary young leader, Ximena, the Boys and Girls Club of America's National Youth of the Year. Known for her resilience, determination, and commitment to uplifting her community, Ximena represents the very best of what young people can achieve. Her story is one of perseverance, passion, and purpose, and we're excited to dive into her journey and the impact she's already making. So, Ximena, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and, just how you got to become part of the Boys and Girls Club?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really glad to join you today. So I've been with the club since my childhood years. I actually started with volleyball and softball. I was a sports kid with the club and with different organizations near it. But I started off with sports, and then it was in high school that I got more involved through volunteering. I don't know if your club also does this, but we have a program in the summer where we can volunteer and work as junior staff. And so that's where I got more involved, and I just loved it so much. I became involved in different advocacy groups or programs there in my club. And ever since then, I've been very passionate about advocacy, about public speaking, and that led me to Youth of the Year to where we are today.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And I believe that our club has had junior staff in the past. At the moment, we don't have it, but that's a super cool initiative that your club is taking. And obviously, you can tell that it's working. So yeah, that's awesome. And so what is the Youth of the Year process like, and how was it competing for National Youth of the Year?
Oh my gosh, I could talk about this for hours. I think that not a lot of people know what the process looks like. So I'll break it down into a simpler process. But essentially, I competed locally for my Boys and Girls Club in McAllen. That's where I'm from. And then once you win local, you go to state, where you compete against all of the other clubs in the state that do Youth of the Year. After that, if you win that, you go to regionals, and then regionals to nationals. Now, nationals was insane. Every single one of these etapas, these stages, was very nerve-wracking, right? It was a lot of public speaking, a lot of networking with different people. But I think at every single moment, you always meet these individuals that are so inspiring. They have really amazing stories. I know Kaylee is from your club. Yeah, she was amazing. All of these kids have just amazing stories, and to get to engage with them, to really connect with them on a different level was just so inspiring. I think nationals, it was 2 months ago. It feels like years ago at this point, honestly. But it was so amazing. It was in Los Angeles. I got to meet all of these amazing people at the conference. There were CEOs, there was presidents, there was these community leaders that spoke so well. And to just be in that, scene, it can be a little, I guess, overwhelming, maybe that would be the word. I was gonna say underwhelming, but I don't think that's the word. It can make you feel small, but I think as the stages go on, you learn to really, who you are and your story. And by the time that you get to nationals, it's such an amazing experience. You get to make really good connections, and it was just a really good experience. I loved it. I'm assuming you're gonna do Youth of the Year, or you have done Youth of the Year?
Yeah, so I did it a while ago. Back in 8th grade is when I won state, and so then I'll be doing it again this year. So I've been working on the packet and everything, and it's been super fun, and it definitely brings me back to the memories. But yeah, it seems super awesome so far.
Oh my God, you should definitely do it. If you're having a whole podcast, girl, you got it. Don't worry. You have it already set. I'm glad. You should definitely do it. I think it's a really good opportunity, and a lot of people know about it. I think that if there was more exposure, there would be so many more kids getting these opportunities as well. So you should definitely do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you mentioned that you've only been, Nationals was only 2 months ago. But I know since then you've probably had so many crazy journeys and experiences. So maybe what has been your favorite part so far, your favorite experience, and what is something you're looking forward to?
I think my favorite part, it was look, I'm not good with my dates. I don't know when it was, but I recently went to oh my God, it was a World Series. I don't know if you knew there was a baseball World Series going on. I went to the second game in Toronto, and it was so amazing. It was so good. I got the opportunity to deliver the ball. I put it over there on the mound. I know everyone was saying like, "Oh, how was it pitching?" I was like, "Girl, it was not a pitch. Okay, I just put it on the ground. It's not that big of a deal." No, but it was a really amazing experience, and I got to meet like Derek Jeter and David Ortiz and A Rod again. Like it was all these crazy people. I met the Jonas Brothers too. Like what? What? Look, my phone screen.
Oh,
Is the
yep.
Jonas
Got the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, absolutely. That would be mine too, for sure. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, it was a really fun experience. And I mean, it was in Toronto of all places. Like, what? No manches, que locura. It was so good. I had never been to Canada before. And if you haven't gone, I'm telling you right now, dream trip. Make a plan. 20 years, we're going to go. We have to go. It's so good. It's so fun. And the weather's really good.
It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too cold.
It was, look, I live in Texas. I don't know where are you?
Arkansas, so we're close.
Arkansas? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like I live in Texas, right? No. The heat is just another level. And then I went to Toronto in like October, maybe. So it was like maybe like high 40s, low 50s. So it was like chilly. Like that's our winter. This is Texas winter, at least where I'm from. So going over there in October was just so amazing. I loved it. Maybe I'm like a weird Texan, right? Because everyone always complains about the cold, but I loved it. And I definitely would want to go back in the winter to see how it is, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I've never been to Canada. My advisor Ashley, she's been to Canada, and she like always like the hiking. She's big on hiking and like being adventurous. So I know that like that's something super cool. When you go on these trips, do you get to take anyone with you? Or I know through Youth of the Year, you probably had an advisor with you.
Yes. So because I'm an underage, or yeah, I'm 17. I have to take my advisor. Yeah, I think once I turn 18, then I only go alone. But that's in a long time, guys. That's like in like 5 months. Yeah, but I get to go with Kat. She's amazing. I love her. She's my advisor since the very beginning. She was actually the one that got me into all of these programs, and she loves it. She loves traveling with me. And right now, she was planning her wedding like a couple of weeks ago. And I think it's literally in December. So she's been, kind of stressed out about that. But she's told me she's like, these trips are like my relief. They're my let go and enjoy of Toronto and all these things. So yeah, she's very happy about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't realize that you were only 17. I'm 18. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago. Like you're younger than I am, so just like props to you. You've already done so much and been recognized at the highest level possible. So just congratulations, and I'm so excited
Thank
for you.
you.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
it
know
seems
you were
like you've had a
18.
blast. Yeah, I'm 18. I feel old now, but I feel old. But no, that's. Are you a senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior. I'm a high school senior. You too?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, how is college apps going?
They're going good, honestly. I mean, I applied to the University of Arkansas and then like University of Central Arkansas, and I played for Harvard, but like that's not happening. That was just like,
You never know. You never
yeah,
know. Me too, girl.
exactly.
I'm applying too. I'm applying like before.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah, we're like right now.
exactly. So we'll go there together.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to post up though. Just
Oh
even
yeah.
if we already get, we're just gonna post up. Like,
No,
they
yeah,
have to
for
accept
sure. Even if we don't get accepted, we'll just come anyway.
No, yeah. I think honestly, I want to talk about that a little bit, just a little bit. Not to get too sidetracked, but honestly, like being a senior and then doing all these college applications, leading all these clubs, and then having to do all the Youth of the Year things as well has been hectic, chaotic, crazy. But it's a fun experience, and I think it's a lot of building resilience.
No, yeah, for sure. Can you talk a little bit about how you build that resilience, or kind of just like how you're able to work through it?
I think last year I got a little bit of exposure, with like the regionals and then with our state and then regionals, like during my AP exam. So I was like going crazy with that, where it was like, well, I had a test one morning, and then as soon as I finished the test, I had to go fly out to the Southwest region, a conference. And then I missed another test, so I had to retake it as soon as I got back. It was insane. It was a lot of studying on the plane. It was crazy, yeah. But for now, it's just been chaotic because for the national competition, it was a week-long competition in Los Angeles. And so I missed all of that work, and I had like 3 exams. And so I came back, I had to study for the exams, I had to do all the work, and it took me like a month to catch up because my school's kind of like it's a very rigorous high school. That's what it's called. Yeah, I was gonna say prestigious, but that's not the word. I'm still thinking Harvard over here. No, but because of the whole national competition, I didn't get to finish my personal statement or my supplementals for any school. And so it was just crazy to like rush an early decision application, and then right now I'm doing all the regulars. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I kind of have to handle between, I'm the president of my school's NHS. It's like a little, a little club. Yeah, so I'm like leading all of that because I don't know how to like delegate, guys. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how to delegate. And so I'm doing all these responsibilities, and then I'm doing essays, and then I have to do dinners with like donors for the club. So it's been a little hectic, but it's fun. It's fun. I honestly, I love the interaction. I love to meeting people, and like things like these things get me excited. So like when I'm writing like my supplement, I'm like, oh, at least I have like a podcast after this, like at least I have something to look forward to. So it's been a fun process. It's a little challenging at times, but I think the conviviendo is what gets me through it. It's the talking through it.
Yeah. And we're super appreciative that you're able to make time to be on here. I know it's early, and I'm sure you've probably got a million other things going on today. So we're very appreciative of that. Are you on break right now? Are you on Thanksgiving break?
Yes, I am. I know. I was like, girl, why did you schedule this at 8 a.m?
Yeah, I have a basketball game today. I have like a practice and a walkthrough, so I was like, we were like, we got to get this done in the morning.
Wait, do you have it after? Like later on?
Yeah, later on today. Yeah.
Okay, my apologies. Hey, you guys could have told me I can like reschedule.
No, you're fine. This is perfect. This worked out great for us, and I'm sorry we didn't let you sleep in another day.
No, please. This is really good, guys. I've been up since 7 a.m. writing supplementals. Like this is perfect. This is what I need. This is my lock-in time. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you guys see this right here. The work ethic a Youth of the Year has right here, up since 5 a.m. That's crazy. I mean, and honestly, like senior grind, like there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Like even for me, and I'm not in near the capacity of a platform that you have right now. Now it's like, wow, I always got stuff going on, so I can't even imagine. So props to you.
Thank you so much. No, it's the same way for this. Like leading a whole podcast, that's hard work, guys. I'm telling you, that's hard work.
I got a lot of people that support me. I have a lot of people. So yeah, earlier when you're talking about schools and like how like rigorous and just like your advisors, it makes me think of like your community. How has your community been like supportive, and like how have they had an impact on where you are today?
Yeah, well, they're the reason I'm here today. Honestly, they have been super supportive, similar to yours, where they have always tried to uplift me. They've always tried to give me different opportunities to grow and learn more when it comes to, public speaking. I think it was through my Boys and Growth Club has been an essential key part, right? The main part. My parents supported me through the whole process. They've always been like, traveling alone, that's scary. But you know what? The club has impacted me in so many ways, and they trusted in the club. And because of that, I was able to go to these competitions. And I think at my club, I have a lot of staff and a lot of mentors that have always tried to be like, you know what, there's an opportunity coming up. We want Ximena to co-lead or to MC or to, just lead the whole thing. And it's because of those opportunities that I've gotten better at it. So I really do owe them the credit that by the time that I got to Youth of the Year, I was already used to being on stage. I was already used to, having that energy and having to engage with individuals. I think that if I hadn't had their support and their continuous like trying to get me to learn and exposure, I wouldn't have been prepared for Youth of the Year. So I'm really, really grateful for them. And honestly, like anytime I would come home, so when I won, I think it was Texas State, I came back from the airplane. I was so tired. I was over here like toda así, las ojeras, the eye bags everywhere. It was terrible. And then I'm walking to the gate, and there's a whole like amazing people, like a whole community that is here to like congratulate me at the airport. And that was just so amazing. I think it's those types of moments that really remind me of how important a community is, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be in this position. So I'm really, really grateful.
Absolutely. And the Boys and Girls Club, I mean, personally, like for me, and like you said the same thing, they're just so good at like uplifting, and like my word that I constantly use is like spotlight. They're constantly a spotlight for youth. Like they're the reason that we're here today doing this podcast. They're the reason like you get to be on that national stage. And so really just them being able to like amplify our voices and be that spotlight for us has been super impactful for not only you and me, but millions of other teens and youth across the country and even on the military bases around the world.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah, I think a lot of the connections that I made through the year, they always talk about their advisors, their CEOs, like the people in their club, because it is through like one of them that, they believed in me or they saw potential in me. And it's like, that's why, like if it weren't for them, trying to putting in their hard work and effort into these kids, we wouldn't be here. So it's always really nice to get to give that credit to them where it's due.
Absolutely. My advisor is one of my best friends. We talk all the time. So yeah, they're super beneficial, and I'm so thankful for them. They're just a second family, like the whole Boys and Girls Club is, for sure. And I can see that it's the same for you. You talked about emceeing, and I saw you at the National Keystone Conference because I got to be a part of the committee, and you got to go and MC with young scholars. So tell us a little bit about like that, because that was super fun, and you got the crowd really hyped for that.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it went well. It wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. You know, kind of how I told you that like it can be kind of scary to be on stage. He made it feel so, you know, like casual to just casually be on stage and getting the crowd hyped up. It was really amazing opportunity. I think I was definitely nervous because I think I was like I was the last one actually. I was the last day. Yeah, that's what it was. So I had started the conference being like, oh my gosh, like I need to analyze how the co-hosts are doing. But it was really good. It was really good. I think I got to see a lot of the behind the scenes of like the people organizing it and calling up the speakers and how everything is structured. And it was a lot. It was very learning, very insightful. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a good opportunity to not just meet a young scholar, but I think I also met like Alex, I don't know what his name, Weber? Alex?
Yeah,
What?
the
Yeah.
speaker, Alex Weber.
Yes,
Yeah, he was really
so
cool.
amazing. Yeah. He was having a whole conversation with me 5 minutes before he went on stage. Like, Mans wasn't even nervous. He wasn't even practicing nothing. He was like, wait, like talking on for like 10 minutes. And then he goes on stage casually and he talks for like a whole hour. It was insane. It was a really good opportunity. A lot of exposure to how, because you know how you can kind of feel like a little bit like, you can feel kind of small in terms of like whenever you're around people that are like really accomplished or they have a lot of experience when it comes to public speaking. That's how I've always felt, that every single stage of the National Youth of the Year or Youth of the Year in general, I've always been like, well, these people know what to say all the time, and these people are like, they're in front of crowds of people and they're just like, yeah guys, like so and so. And so for me it was kind of like I feel like I was very lost. I felt very like unprepared for all of the stages. But I think that the more you get to know these people, especially like talking to Alex Weber and talking to Young Scholar, it's like everyone is in the same boat. Everyone has had that like experience of like not knowing what to say. And I think that over time you learn to like adapt and you just naturally become better at knowing what to say in the moment. And so because of that experience, I was so much more comfortable when it came to National Youth of the Year. Because it was right before. It was like, I think maybe like 2 months before, if I'm not mistaken, or a month before. Just seeing them like just be so good naturally prepared me for National Youth of the Year, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alex Weber, he was really cool. And also, like, it doesn't matter the age, because the day before, I think we had, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I think it was Leamani. She was the singer, and she's also in like Disney. Like, I think she's part of the Descendants. And she was so like articulate and nice, and like she had a talent for singing, but she was also just such a kind person and just so good at what she did and bringing people together. So being a part of the committee, like I got to talk to her backstage and Alex Weber, and it's really awesome to get to see everyone's like personalities and characteristics, because they're really not much different than how they are on stage. Like, it's not an act, you know, it's just who they are. And honestly, like, it was just a surreal experience. And I get what you're saying with like that small feeling, just because like you can see all their accomplishments and like that's why they're there on stage today. But it was super cool because they're all nice and they don't make you ever feel like beneath them. If anything, they lift you up. And so it was a super positive experience.
Yeah, I think I was there. I think it was the same day when she performed. She was sang. Yeah, she was there. I got to meet her too. I was so happy about that. I think she was on Descendants, I think. Or Descendants 4 or one of those, one of those movies. But she was so sweet. Like, I remember how I talked to her and I felt like a very personal, like she wasn't being fake or anything, or it wasn't anything like that. She was a real person. And I think that I get what you're saying. Like, it's a good way to like relate to these people, because like they seem so accomplished and then they seem just like you. So it's like you could get there one day too. I totally feel that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Before the National Keystone Conference was America's for Summit Youth, the Boys and Girls Clubs, where they go to DC and speak at that. Did you attend that at all?
The Summit for America's Youth?
Yeah, it's a conference in DC where like teens come together and they go and speak at Capitol Hill.
Oh, I didn't go. I went last year or 2 days. Yeah, I went el año pasado. The last year I went, and I think that's when we placed that like TLC or the challenge maker. Yeah, I went for that one, but this year I only went to Keystone. But no, yeah, but I remember the experience. I think it was where we presented our projects and there was like a fair about it, right? Something like that. It was a really good experience. I loved it. I loved going to DC. I had never been before, but I'm assuming you went. You say you went?
I went the year before as well. So I didn't, they were like the same week, I believe. Like it was like a Monday, Tuesday, and then they crossed over Wednesday, something like that. So I wasn't able to attend. But yeah, that was super cool. You said your TLC project place, or like, yeah. Can you talk to us a little bit about it and yeah, like where that passion came from?
Yeah. So we focused on, so I live in the valley, right? In the very southern tip of Texas. And so a lot of us come from, Mexican Americans, or a lot of us come from immigrants themselves. And so because of that, it is a lot, like it's our culture, right? For a lot of us to be immigrants, we have, that language barrier. We have that kind of different type of lifestyle where we're kind of like, like for me, like a lot of my friends and I are used to translating for our parents. And so we talked about how, for a lot of these kids, like specifically immigrant teens that are coming in like around our age, barely starting to learn the language, it's a lot harder to adapt. It's harder for them to help their parents through that same process. And so we really focused on the struggles faced by them and how we could try to mitigate those struggles through, language classes at our club, or through different programs where we kind of give presentations to ¿cómo se dice? Like teachers, yeah, to those kind of like providers that could help these kids through that process. And so we met with like a senator, and we went with like different immigration lawyers to try and see like in what ways we could try to do to help. And we presented our project over there in DC, and it was a really amazing experience. We got to talk about, the issues being faced in our community that I feel like we're kind of more of like a border issue, like it's not common to bigger cities, because obviously bigger cities have a lot more resources. It is like over here in the smaller cities that it's like harder to adapt for them. And it was a really good experience. I think I got to meet a lot of people that were able to relate to our story, because obviously, I mean, there's a lot of immigrants in the country, and it's something that's very common to us to like have those struggles, but not really talk about them, because I mean, everyone's going through them, right? And so it was just a really amazing experience. I believe we placed third, so we got some funding to continue our project, and because of that, I think we're still working on getting that processed, and we've been reaching out to TEA, Texas Education. It's like the education agency for the state, to try and see if we could get some trainings mandated for teachers so that they're better equipped to help these students. Yeah, it was a really good experience, and I think that because it's something that a lot of us see, at least here in the McAllen, it was something that we could really talk about because we were passionate about it. Yeah. I was wondering, what was your project about?
Exactly. So when we went, we just did a mental health. We talked about mental health. We did a mental health fair at our Boys and Girls Club. So what we did is we had different stations and different groups where we allowed the club kids to come and like maybe make fidgets. They got to play mental health bingo, kind of just like learn about different words and like what they meant. Just like knowing that mental health is okay. It's okay to have those issues. It's okay to talk about them. It's okay to feel them. But also, different coping mechanisms that you go through when you feel these issues, and like, how can we help if you're feeling sad, stressed, anxiety? What is good? What is different about this fidget that, makes you allowed to feel calm, or why are calming corners so important? Right now, I'm a part of the National Youth Advisory Council, and right now we're talking about those calming corners and really just getting those instilled in the clubs just all around the community, just because they really just allow kids, take a step back, take a breather, relax, or maybe they haven't even got to that point yet, but they can feel that they're about to, maybe become overstressed, like overstimulated, and they want to just take a step back. And so just talking about like mental health and kind of like that, it's okay, but also that there's different ways to cope and there's different people to talk about, and that the club is just another outlet that wants to be there to help you. So that was what we did, and it was super impactful. And your initiative just sounds over the top, like amazing. And you can see like the firsthand change you guys are making already. So
Thank
props
you
to
so
you
much.
guys. Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
And that's very important too. I think the year before us, we actually also did mental health. So that's a very important issue that I feel like it's important that a lot of people are talking about it. And you mentioned calming corners. My club recently this past summer was our first time having a calming corner there. So it was very impactful. We saw a lot of kids, trying to ¿cómo se dice when you get oversensitized? Sensitivity. Yeah, overstimulated. Yes, overstimulated. They got overstimulated and they really helped them calm down. So it's definitely very important. And I'm glad you guys got to talk about it over there in the fair.
Yeah,
More.
absolutely. Thank you for that. Did you get to go to Capitol Hill and like speak to your senators or maybe their representatives? Yeah.
Yes, I,
How
I
was that?
believe. Yeah, it was amazing. I think, like, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I actually I hope to one day be a representative or a senator. And so getting to go all the way to DC and then talking to these people was really amazing. I think our club, or our region, the senator and the representative for them wasn't there on that day, but because there was like another conference going on at the same time. But we got to talk to their chief of staff and we talked about the issues being faced and about what we were trying to do. And they were really amazing. They were very helpful. They were really willing to listen, not just to the issues being faced in our city, but also for the whole valley, for the whole like southern part of Texas. I think El Paso was there. I think Edinburgh was there too. And a lot of them were actually Youth of the Year before, like later on. So it was really good. It was like a whole networking experience. And I got to see them later. So it was a really good opportunity. But just to see them in action and just to see, the chief of staff, they talk so well about all the work that they do and how, it's very hard, it's very rigorous, but it's very efficient and it's very impactful. And it's like, that's why it drives them to be this, passionate because they know that they're making an impact in communities like ours. So it was really good to get to talk to them about what's happening in the valley and how they can help. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you just mentioned that you said you wanted to be a senator. So tell us a little bit about like your platform and your career goals.
Yeah, of course. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm still applying to college right now. I'm a senior, and I'm applying with the intention of, I think, majoring in either business or political science and then going to law school after. So I do want to become a lawyer. I actually came upon this realization because of the club. I think before the club, I was kind of very lost between studying political science because I like to code or different other areas that are very diverse. And it was through TLC actually going to DC a year ago and talking about the issues being faced in my community that I realized that I was very passionate about advocacy. And I think that through that, I was like, you know what? Let me start looking for legal internships. Let me look for opportunities where I can continue being an advocate, but not just for issues being faced, but for individuals. And so I talked about this on my podcast in my Boys and Girls Club when I had a guest lawyer, right? And I talked about how I was passionate about it, about how she was a lawyer. Guess what? She gave me a whole internship from that interview. Yeah.
Let's go. Connections are so important. Yeah.
Yes, it was really amazing. She gave me an internship at her office and it was so beautiful. Very, very fancy office. But she was a criminal defense lawyer. And so it was a lot of exposure, like right on, head first, or I don't know what the saying is, but it was like, there was a lot of exposure. And it was a really good opportunity. I got to like see, being in court and seeing the proceedings going on, seeing how serious the judge is. And he called my name and I was stuttering. I don't know how, but I was nervous, but it was a really good opportunity. And then after that internship ended, I talked to my club, right? I love to yap. I love to yap to everyone and all the admin, everyone. And so on one of these days, thank you. See, that's why we're on a podcast right now. Yes. But on one of these days, the board president, so like our board members for the club, we have a board president. She came in one day and I was talking about the interview and about the podcast. And she was like, oh, well, how is the internship going? I was like, oh, it already ended. And she was like, would you like another internship? I was like, oh, oh. Yes, it was a whole another internship, and this one wasn't 8:30 to 5. That was I was clocking in, clocking out all the time. It was all the way in Edinburgh, like 30 minutes away. Yeah, so the rest of the summer I worked at her office as a legal intern, and it was a really amazing experience. I liked it a lot more because she does kind of like, I don't know if it would be business law, but she like handles clients that have businesses, start businesses, get into civil cases with other businesses. So it is like, I guess, business like corporate law, maybe something along those lines. I wouldn't know what to call it, but she's amazing. She does any type of law because she loves her clients. And just getting to work with her, I think I helped her make like legal handbooks for companies. I helped her make start companies for other clients, and I helped her like meet with other clients that were willing to like interested in her being their lawyer. And it was just so good. And because of that, I want to be a business lawyer as well. So that's what I'm headed to, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. No, I have no doubt that you will get there. And it's really amazing to see that the club has been a part of that and you've been able to gain those internships. And no doubt it's because of your personality and just who you are and your resilience and that hard work ethic. Um, yeah, no problem. And I just want to thank you for coming on and like talking about all these things, and just thank you guys for listening. And please join us for part two, where we get to learn more about Ximena's journey as National Youth of the Year. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I am Holden, your host. Please like this video and subscribe to Youth Unmuted wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, peace.